Hello. Welcome to 30 Days of Facebook Live. So if you don't know me, I'm Claire Macpherson. I'm a mindset and business coach. Come and join me on this 30 days where each day I'm going to be going live just for a short little 5-minute slot to give you a piece of value that you can implement right now in your business, in your life to help you move forward in 2018. Now, I want to start with why I'm doing this. So I'm just going to give you a very brief introduction because if you already know me, you might well be in Dreamcatchers, which is my Facebook group. If you're not, come and join me. I will pop the link in the comments. If you do know me, you'll know that I do Facebook Lives in there regularly. I do Facebook Lives in here sometimes, and on my personal profile, I will also show up live sometimes. I enjoy doing lives. I enjoy the connection, especially when I've got people on here with me. No one knew that I was going live right now today, so everyone's busy doing their own thing. But if you watch this back later, please do say hello. If I don't know you, tell me something about yourself. Tell me about the business that you have or the business that you want. Tell me about your mindset. Tell me about what 2018 is all about for you. Faye, hi Faye, how are you? Awesome that you're here with me. So please do say hello, especially if I don't know you, and tell me something about you. These next 30 days are actually a personal challenge that I've set for myself, but in doing so, I'm hoping to inspire you to do something the same. So we all know that the way we achieve our goals, the way that we get to where we want to be in life is by chunking it down into little tiny steps that we take every single day. It's the easiest way to move forward and actually get the results that we want. So instead of it being those big things, people quite often think, well, if I want to achieve this goal, it is some huge goal, right? Maybe it's like walking Mount Everest. They think that it's the big things that will get them there and allow them to do it, but that's BS, right? It's not actually true at all. It's the little tiny things that other people don't necessarily notice and see. Those people around you might not notice that you're doing this one thing that's new every single day, and then suddenly you hit success, you get the result you want, and everyone's like, well, how did it happen? What did you do? There was none of this like big boom that people expect. But it's because it's not the big things that get us where we want to go. It's the little things that we do consistently. And so for myself, 2018 is about making a bigger impact. And so I wanted to make the commitment for me and for people watching me and those people that I help, my clients, by showing up on my business page a little bit more. And what's the best way to do it, the easiest way to do it, is actually absolutely make it a habit. So 30 days to make the habit, to make it super connected in here so that it becomes really easy moving forwards. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want you to think about what goals or what you've decided you want to create in 2018. Maybe you've got a list, maybe you've set them as goals, maybe you set resolutions, whatever you call them, whatever they may be. I want you to think about the one that you really, really want, the one that really makes you feel excited, the one that feels connected, the one that makes you go, oh my God, like yes, absolutely, totally. And I want you to take that and I want you to think about what's one thing that if you did it every single day, consistently, no matter what would that one thing be that would be the most likely thing to help you to achieve that goal or the intention or whatever it was? So Faye, you're with me. So you pop in and tell me. So firstly, maybe pop in, like, what's the goal? If you want to share that, you can or not, it's up to you. And people watching this back, feel free, share what the goal is, or if not, don't worry. But what I would love you to share is what's the habit that you could start doing daily that's going to get you to that goal with ease, with flow, in alignment so that it feels really good. And I'm guessing, because a big part of this is us walking our talk, right? It's us being in alignment. It's us standing in our truth. It's us doing what we say that we do, showing up, being the person that we want to be. And so a big part of this is you making that commitment to yourself, making the commitment to your goals, making the commitment to being the best possible version of you. Now, when we talk about habits, I know people can fall into two camps around it, right? And you might have heard of, I'm sure you'll have heard of Tony Robbins, and he talks about our human fundamental needs. And people can fall into two categories. People either like certainty in their life or they like variety in their life. Now you might go, oh, well, I like both. Everyone does to start with, but it's about what's the thing that you need. Like, what is the thing that you absolutely need the most in order to feel okay? Is it that you've got to have change all the time? And that's what makes you feel good. And when you have change all the time, it keeps your energy up, it keeps you interested. Maybe on the other hand, you need certainty, you need consistency, you need sameness, so that you feel like you have a basis or this safe place in which you then leap from and grow from. So just have a think for the moment, if you haven't thought about this before, which need is more dominant in you? Is it the need for certainty, to have that sameness regularly in your life, in your routine, or is it the need for variety? The need to have things that are different? Because when it comes down to our habits, knowing which one of those you are is going to make a difference, because quite obviously, those people who like certainty, those people who like sameness, quite often might find creating habits and sticking to habits easier, right? Because it fills them up, it's fulfilling a need. It means that they can put a thing in place that they know is going to happen all the time, consistently, and it gives them that base, that real solid base. So if you like sameness, if you like certainty, if you like to have some part of that in your life, habits are going to help you massively. So it might be that for you, it's start with one. Don't try and implement like 10 habits all at once, because it's too much. Start with one simple habit, but once that's ingrained, once you're doing that easily without necessarily having to think about it, then add in another one, then add in another one, okay? If, however, you like variety and you like that change, and actually the idea of doing something consistently is like, oh, that's really boring, I'll get fed up. Maybe in the past you've tried to set yourself new habits and you haven't stuck by them because you've got bored of them, basically, because you crave that need for change. Habits can work just as well for you. Absolutely, because there are still habits that you do, even if you're like really high on that need for variety, you're still going to brush your teeth every day. You're still going to get dressed every day. You already have tons of habits in your life. But I'm guessing that the way you do those habits is different to the way that a person who needs certainty does those habits. So it's about how do you create that habit in a way, thank you for the love heart, that's beautiful. Love getting love hearts. How do you create that habit in a way that fulfills your need for change and variety? So maybe it's doing it at a different time, maybe it's doing it in different ways. So for example, if I craved variety and I was doing these Facebook Lives every day, maybe the thing that I would need to mix it up a little bit is that I need to be in different places when I live stream, so that it felt a bit more interesting. So one day I was in the car, one day I was here in my office, I was at home, I was in the park, I was at a swimming pool, I don't know. So maybe I can make it more interesting for myself by giving myself an extra layer of a challenge by saying, oh yes, and every day I'm going to do that Facebook Live somewhere different. It's got to be somewhere different every single day for 30 days. That's going to create it's going to create that variety, right? It might be that I allow myself to do it at any time of the day. So I might think, well, it's not like I need it to be 11 o'clock every single day to be able to do it. So that's another thing. I can change up the time, so that makes it different. I can change up how I do it. Sometimes it could be on my laptop, sometimes it could be on my phone. I could do it using one of the other little systems like eCam or something if I wanted to. So there are lots of ways that you can think about whatever the habit is for you, that you can create that variety within the habits. On the other hand, if you like that certainty, again, there's obviously ways. You could, Facebook Live as an example, you could be saying, okay, so every single day it's going to be at 11 o'clock, I'm going to schedule it in, it's in my diary, it's in my office, and you've got those things around you to support you. So what I'm saying is, firstly, think of your goal. What is it? Break it down. What one habit can you start implementing every single day that's going to help you achieve that goal? And then, depending on whether you have a human need of variety or certainty, how are you going to set yourself up for success with creating that habit? Okay, so pop in your comments. I'd love to see them, whether you're live now or whether you're watching this back later. Put them all in so I will come back and watch them. So Faye was saying, to reach your, hold on, I can't see it. Let me move this across a little bit. To reach my monthly financial goals. Awesome. I think I need certainty 70% and variety 30%. Yes, because we have a mix. Like no one's going to be, I don't think anyone's going to be like 100% one or the other. We're going to have a mix, but we're definitely going to be dominant in one. So think about what the dominance is. So for example, the way that I do it is that I like both, but my need for variety is bigger than my need for certainty. So I don't tie myself down to a time. I don't tie myself down to a topic. I can come up with what I feel like I want to talk about each day at a time that feels good for me. So that's feeding into my need for variety. However, I do have that bit of sameness. So having it on my computer, doing it in a way that feels good, committing to it, having the accountability by telling you all that I'm doing it, those things help me in both ways. Emma, if you're still here, tell me what yours is too. Faye, being visible every day, at least twice. Wow, twice a day, that's pretty big, right? Twice a day is big. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to actually turn, you don't necessarily need to comment on here if you don't want to, feel free to though if you want my feedback on it. How can you nail that down into a habit that's a bit more tangible? So being visible, how do you want to be visible? Is it writing posts? Is it Facebook Lives? Is it speaking in front of audiences? Like, how do you want to be visible? And how exactly do you want to turn that into a habit? So for example, it could be, okay, I'm going to do a blog for every single day, or I'm going to do Facebook Live for every single day, or I'm going to start posting in groups and I'm going to share a post from the heart in a group every single day. So maybe it's a combination of all of it, but if it is, still write that down. So it might be every single day I'm going to do this, or this, and that's the commitment and the habit around it. So turn it a bit more into habit. I know for actually, was it last year or the year before? Gosh, I can't remember. I actually can't remember how long I've been doing it. So I set myself a journaling habit, a challenge around creating journaling as a habit. I think it was probably 2 years ago now, to be honest. And so I started doing it every single morning. I did it at the same time, but I did different questions. I had my nice little journal that I love using. Think about how you can really support yourself with it. Right, I said these were going to be short and sweet, so I'm going to go. I'm going to leave it there, but feel free to type in your things, say what it is. I'd love to hear about it, and come and join me, because I'm going to be doing this for 30 days, something different every single day. Thank you for the love hearts. I will see you soon. Go and have an amazing day. And if you think this would be useful, so anyone watching this back or anyone on, if you think this would be useful, please do feel free to share it, because I would be very appreciative. And it's just sharing the love. Take care. Bye.